All right. So, starting on the zodiac sign of Aries, let's see what's going on for the zodiac sign of Aries. What does Aries need to know? All right. So, I feel like for Aries, there's a really good opportunity that's trying to come forward towards you, but you need to kind of be focused about what you're wanting to see come forward. This King of Swords can say that we need to kind of have a clear direction, clear up our mind, and focus on what we're wanting in order for it to come forward towards us. And by focusing on this manifestation, focusing on clearing our energy, we create with this Eight of Wands momentum forward, or like a call out to the universe to have something answer it, right? And through focusing our energy here, channeling our energy forward on our desires, we create the opportunity for the Knight of Cups as well as the Knight of Wands to bring these things to come forward towards us. And the star is asking us to be hopeful. So I feel like Aries, there's an opportunity here for you to get what you're looking for, get what you're wanting, get what you're manifesting, but it comes forward from being focused. If you're not focused on what you want and you're all over the place, it's kind of like spinning you around in a circle as you're holding a laser pointer. It's sending off ideas in every single direction rather than giving something that is focused, rather than giving something to land on. It's switching things around in every single direction that's not really going to give you an opportunity to move forward with success. So, if you're wanting some sort of manifestation, if you're wanting some sort of desire here to move forward for you, to give you the thing that you're looking for, then it comes from having a clear mind and being focused. I feel like there is somebody who wants to reach out to you. You have two opportunity cards, both of these knights trying to come forward here. I feel like there's somebody who wants to deliver you some good news or help you get towards where you want to be. But I feel like, again, they need some sort of clear sign to say, yes, they can come forward. Yes, they can connect with you. Yes, that this is a good energy here that is open to them, right? That they can come towards you in order for them to actually take action here to step in your direction. But I feel like there is somebody who is wanting to see the best for you, wanting to work together with you, but just need some sort of sign that they can help you get to where you want to be. Anything else that I can think of here with this combination that I want to point out? I would say King of Swords with the Star. Maybe there's an opportunity here for you to be a little bit more honest with yourself about what you truly want or how you truly feel on situations. If you allow yourself to recognize what you're truly asking for or what's truly going to make you feel fulfilled, it's a lot easier for you to go after these things rather than trying to rush forward and not really even knowing the best direction for you to kind of take a step ahead. So I would say get clear with what you want, connect with yourself, and then you're going to see a lot of doors open. Do we grab the initials? Might as well. All right, so these are your most important initials, acronyms, names, and words. And if you can't see on TikTok, because TikTok is the bottom view, you can come on YouTube, and YouTube is the top view. Can make things a little bit easier to see. And we're on the main channel, Temperance and Sage. What am I doing here? Temperance and Sage on YouTube. But that is for Aries. All right, let's go ahead here for the zodiac sign of Taurus. Let me find where my little pen is. Whoops. All right. So let's go ahead here for the zodiac sign of Taurus. And we'll see, what does Taurus need to know? All right. So, Taurus, right away I get the idea of keep fighting, keep moving forward. I feel like with the Seven of Wands energy coming ahead here, that you have an opportunity to push past something, push past a difficulty, push past any sort of headache, any sort of kind of bump in the road to give you an opportunity here to move forward towards where you want to be. The Empress is growth, it's expansion, it's abundance. So you are surrounded by this energy here right now. You're surrounded by this opportunity here to see what you are like wanting, get what you're wanting, to give it a spot to come find you. But if you give up now, if you give into the feeling of, oh, it's hard, oh, it's difficult, or, it's not happening in the way I thought it was going to be, you're going to miss out on the opportunities that wants to come forward towards you. You have 3 cards of abundance. Knight of Cups is like the bringer of manifestations, bringer of our dreams. The Nine of Cups, sitting there in contentment, getting exactly what you want. And then we also have the Empress, this abundance, this flow, this desire, this opportunity here to get exactly what you're looking for. So you have all this energy here to say you can call in exactly what you're wanting to see come forward towards you. You can call all this in at any point in time. But if you get out of the space of like asking for this to come forward, it's essentially like you're giving up on the what is that word? I'm looking at it like you're in a game of tug of war, and it's at the last little bit to pull this thing towards you. But if you give up now, you just allow the other team to win, right? You allow the other side of the coin to get what you're asking for. So if you're wanting something, don't give up now. You can call in this energy to come forward towards you. I feel like with the Page of Cups, there is somebody who wants to reach out to you. They want to connect, but they're not really wanting to have like a weighted conversation or have anything feel really heavy or serious right now. This person just wants a really lighthearted energy with connecting with you. They are somebody who wants to bring in fun. There's somebody who wants to bring in excitement, but there's somebody who maybe wants to be in a little bit more of like a young-hearted, sort of lighthearted way of connecting. So maybe your friend who's wanting to go let's see. Maybe we're wanting to go to a cafe, but we don't want to spill gossip. We just want to go try out the new cafe. Maybe this is a friend who wants to go shopping to the bookstore, but they are somebody who wants to enjoy your company with the book rather than chit chat while you're reading, right? There's something that's going on like this, where somebody has this desire to connect with you, to communicate with you, to be around your energy, but they're not really looking for heaviness right now. They're more so looking for like companionship. Could be somebody who's younger than you, maybe a sibling or a romantic interest here who's younger than you, who's just looking to kind of be in your energy. I feel like this Empress is also calling out to me, so let me think here as to what she's trying to say while I grab your most important initials, acronyms, names, and words. So don't be afraid of trying something new. Also, if you're on TikTok and you can't see the initials, hop over onto YouTube. YouTube has a top view. TikTok has the straight on view, so it's a little bit more difficult. But I would say with the Empress here, Taurus, if you're looking for an opportunity to come your way, don't be afraid to invent it or to create it. Sometimes it's not about filling some shoes, it's about creating the shoes, right? Maybe there is an opportunity for you to create the role that you're looking for rather than to apply for the job, if that makes sense. Allow yourself to give the opportunity to you, to create the opportunity for yourself instead of waiting for it to fall in your lap, right? So that's what I would say. Let's go on to our next zodiac sign. Our next zodiac sign is Gemini. I was debating having something where I could just change out the zodiac sign on the board without having to grab it, but I couldn't find anything at the store that matched the size. So if anybody has any suggestions, what are we doing? Gemini. All right. Oh, got something in my eye. Let's go ahead here for the zodiac sign of Gemini and see, what does Gemini need to know? Also, if anybody would like to have a personal reading, check out my website, temperanceandsage.com. That is the absolute only place that I do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you. If you'd like a reading, you have to come find me. Okay, let's go ahead here with Gemini. Gemini, I see partnership being a really good thing here for you right now. King of Cups, Queen of Cups. Doesn't even have to be a romantic partnership, just a partnership in general. There's an opportunity here for you to feel maybe understood, supported, and cared for by another if you allow that person into your life. I feel like coming forward here with the idea of the Five of Pentacles, it might feel like it's hard to find somebody right now to have that deeper connection with, or it might feel like you're not on the same page with other people to get that deeper connection with. But judgment, sometimes you have to be the one who says things first, right? And that's not always the most comfy position to be in. But sometimes if you're the person who says, I'd like to connect more, I'd like to reach out more, I'd like to have a little bit more of a bond between the two of us, then it can kind of get the ball rolling, right? Somebody has to start it. So if you're feeling a little bit distant or you're feeling a little bit challenged when it comes to like personal relationships right now, maybe you have to be the one who kind of takes the lead and shouts it from the rooftops in order to get this opportunity going. I would say though, if you're feeling distant to somebody right now, as in maybe you're in no contact, I do see a change around happening, whether it be you who reaches out or them who reaches out. Judgment, somebody is reaching out here. And with the idea of the Six of Pentacles, we're going to have an opportunity to balance things out. We're going to have the opportunity to kind of level out the energy between you both so that we can find a way to connect and find a way to move forward. Also, when it comes to your money and when it comes to your career, please find a balance. We do not need to be emotionally spending, and I feel like that could be something here right now that could be a little bit troublesome. A nice treat is always nice, right? A good treat is always nice. A sweet treat is always nice. I will never turn down a sweet treat. But when it starts eating away at the paycheck, that's when our sweet treat has become a little bit too much of a problem here. So I would at least say for the rest of the year, allow yourself to find balance when it comes to spending and when it comes to working. Don't overwork yourself in order to meet your goals for the end of the year. Allow yourself to do what you can sustain and see how it takes you, and kind of set better goals or more achievable goals or restructure your goals for the next year. What else do I want to say here for Gemini? Your environment's a mirror for you, especially with this King of Cups, Queen of Cups, Six of Pentacles. What you put out, you will receive. So if you're in a place of not really liking what's going on around you, figure out how you are reacting to that, what you're giving your attention towards, and see how that changes as you change your reaction and attention there as well. Let's see what's going on with your important initials, acronyms, names, and words. And again, if you can't see on TikTok, join me on YouTube. These are your most important initials, acronyms, names, and words. If you'd like a personal reading, check out my website, temperanceandsage.com. That is the absolute only place that I do personal readings. And that's enough for Gemini. Let's go ahead to our next zodiac sign, which is Cancer. Alrighty, so Cancer, let's go ahead and see what is it that you need to know, what's going on for the zodiac sign of Cancer. All right, Cancer. I don't know why I am seeing, what is it called? Like the Wizard. Oh, I should not be explaining it this way because I don't know. The Wizard of Oz. You know the mask guy, the face. I'm horrible at this, but the guy at the end, the wizard, I guess, what is called, where they realize it's just a man behind the big face. That's kind of what I'm seeing here with the idea of the Eight of Cups coming forward with the Tower. It's kind of like recognizing something that you were fearful of, or recognizing something that you built a wall of, or thought that there was going to be such a mountain to overcome is actually quite a small little hill, and on the other side of it lies prosperity. Ace of Swords with the Ace of Pentacles can say that any sort of new beginning that you give yourself can actually work out really, really well, especially if it's taking a chance to go after a desire of yours. So let's say you're somebody who is, oh my God, so super scared of posting on the internet. What if your friend from 5th grade finds out? Oh God, the horror, right? Oh, we can't let Rebecca find out. But you know what? Actually, on the other side of it is like $50,000 paychecks, to post a 10-minute video that's sponsored, right? Have you seen how much these people on the internet are making? It is redonkulous. Not in the tarot community. We're not doing that here. No sponsors here. But you know what? If you're maybe anything guru, actually, I've seen so many people who are like, they're reading the TikTok reading people who are getting like boxes of books sent to them for free. On the other side of that fear is opportunity. You don't have to be an influencer if you don't want to be. This could be as simple as you're afraid of talking to your boss about a raise, but you go up to their office after work and you say, hey, look at all this work that I've been doing. I think it's about time that I get, paid equals for the amount of work. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, actually, I was just waiting for you to say something. And you're gobsmacked. The tower, the expectations, the wall, the difficulties that you've built up in the situation were not so difficult after all. It just merely took striking forward. Six of Swords says that we're trying to move past a problem. So with this tower, anything that you kind of have built up in your mind, you've probably built it up a lot more than what it's actually going to be in terms of a difficult situation. Talking to that person about a romantic situation, about a job, taking that opportunity that you want to go ahead about your manifestations, whatever it is, you've probably thought about it 100 more hours than the situation actually requires. And again, if you take a chance on it, you're going to realize that the wall just kind of crumbles down, and on the other side of it is opportunity. So I would say, Cancer, what you need to know is that you need to take a chance because it's waiting for you to just kind of like, you know how they say, if you are waiting at a red light, all you need to do is pull up your car a little bit more and there's like sensors underneath it. That's what I'm feeling. You need to just pull up your car to the light. You just need to pull it up a little bit further and then all of a sudden, bloop, it switches green. And it was never red to begin with. It just was waiting for you to come to the light. That's kind of how I feel. So let's see. These are your most important initials, acronyms, names, and words. If you can't see, come over onto YouTube. I have it at a different view on YouTube. Temperance and Sage on YouTube. And if you'd like to have a personal reading, check out my website, temperanceandsage.com. And that's the absolute only place that I do personal readings. So let's go on to our next zodiac sign. Our next zodiac sign is Leo, meaning we have done Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. And again, since we're on YouTube, you can go ahead and watch any of those. Do I have them timestamped right now? No, I do not, because this is my first day back in about, I don't even know, 2 years. And I'm not as skilled as I was 2 years ago to have everything running at the same time. I barely got YouTube and TikTok functioning today. Whoa. So let's go ahead and see for the zodiac sign of Leo. For the zodiac sign of Leo, what do you need to know? So firstly, Leo, I would say is don't overburden yourself. I think that you're calling in a lot of good things to come forward towards you, but I kind of see you as this like juggler where you're thinking, oh, I'm going to start this and then I'm going to start that. And if I do this, then it'll lead to that. And it can kind of just put you in a direction here where maybe it could bring forward a little bit too many different opportunities all at once. And that can make things feel a little bit heavysome. So if you're wanting something to come forward towards you, if you're wanting new things, if you're wanting to take chances, absolutely go ahead. But sometimes you need to stagger things where you can't do everything all at once. And sometimes that's what it leads to burnout, where it could actually give you a really super cool opportunity, but because you decided to do 10 things all at once, you can't really, excel in the way that you wanted to. You're spreading yourself thin. Ace of Swords at the start can actually ask you to pick one thing and go ahead with it. So instead of, again, trying to focus on everything at once, you can't make everybody happy. Allow yourself to figure out the one thing that you truly want to do and go ahead with that. Take a chance on that. You can always pick up the other things later, but giving yourself the opportunity today to go after the one thing that you truly want is probably more beneficial than trying to have yourself excel in 5 to 10 different things. You are calling in a lot of people your way, and your expectations are not too high. Other people, I don't know why other people say that. Your expectations are not too high. Why would we want you to settle? Why would we want you to wake up and be like, oh God, why am I with this person? I hate the way that they laugh. I hate the way that they chew their food. And if they could just pick up their feet when they walk, that would be fantastic, right? Why would you want to be with that? You have the opportunity at any point in time to change your mind when it comes to moving forward. So don't feel like you are settling in any sort of way, or you have to settle in any sort of way. Your expectations are not too high. Your intuition, though, is a lot stronger than you expect or you think. But we don't need, 10 bajillion signs in order to recognize that it's a sign. You don't need to say, send me a sign to know that the last sign was a sign. Okay, and if it was truly a sign, then send me another sign to know that it is the, fifth and final sign. We don't need that. We can have the opportunity to trust our intuition the first time around without needing next car, red car 5 times in a row. What else do I want to say here? And stop hiding. I don't know why you're hiding. I think that if you go after attention a little bit more, you will see yourself just blossom and bloom from it. So don't hide in the shadows. I think that, now is not really the time for you to shy away in any sort of way. Be the star, right? The star card coming forward. Be the star. Allow yourself to be even the Queen of Wands. I call the Queen of Wands my sexy lady card. Putting yourself out there, calling things to come forward towards you. You don't need to burden yourself with this 10 of Wands and hide away. You can be a star. So that's what I got going on for Leo. If you can't see the initials, I'm on YouTube as well. Temperance and Sage on YouTube, as the big sign does say. And you can go ahead and rewatch there as well. We're live there right now. If you'd like a personal reading, as the big sign says as well, you can visit my website, www.temperanceandsage.com. Let's go ahead on our next zodiac sign. We're on Virgo, which means we've done Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and Leo, which leaves us Virgo. Oh, Lord. All right, Virgo. Oh, that was a horrible R. Oh, God. All right. So we're on the zodiac sign of Virgo. Let's see, what does Virgo need to know? What's going on here with the zodiac sign of Virgo? Also, happy November 1st. I literally cannot believe that it is November 1st. I had to even double check the calendar yesterday to know that it was Halloween. I don't know in where I'm living in time. It's not, but it's not November. Let's go ahead and see what's going on here for the zodiac sign of Virgo. Whoops. So, Virgo, The Seven of Cups and the Ace of Swords is calling to me immediately here. I feel like there is a need to find the answers. What is the best pathway? What is the truth? Which direction should I take? I feel like there's so many things going on in your head right now that we're trying to look for what is the best. And we don't need to do that, actually. We just don't need to. Five of Wands is saying that we're maybe making some conflict in ways that we don't need to. And I know, as being a Virgo moon myself, there's always so many possibilities that we can think of, but we don't need to think about all these things. We can instead, Ace of Swords, take action to one thing that excites us with this Knight of Wands and allow everything else to fall where it needs to. So this could say that we need to follow our passions a little bit more, make us go after the things that feel a little bit exciting. What makes every day different? Go after that. Because it's so easy as life goes on to fall into the mundanity of it, that if you're not focusing on what excites you, you're just going to get caught up in all these decisions, caught up in all these what ifs, and it's going to make things even more difficult later on to figure out how you want to progress forward in life. So allow yourself to kind of do one thing at least each day that brings in a little bit more excitement and pulls you away from the 100 possibilities of the mind, and see where that takes you. With the King of Pentacles coming forward here, I feel like there could be an advisor in your midst. I feel like there could be somebody here that you could lean on to kind of show you how to move forward. Don't be afraid of trying to get a mentor. I know that can sound like maybe putting high expectations on another person, but you can start off in the smallest directions. You can ask a boss, you can ask even a coworker to be your mentor. Sometimes there's people on social media who will be your mentors as well, depending on what it is that you're looking to go after. But you know what? Actually, there was somebody who I was listening to a podcast of, and they were talking about how even reading the book of another person, they were considering that like shaping them. And then they would write a letter to the person who wrote the book saying, thank you so much for writing this book. It really taught me X, Y, and Z. And they actually got it connected to the people who wrote the book afterwards and was like using them as a mentor. So you never know how advice and guidance can kind of shape your life and move you forward and be, possible in any sort of direction. Virgo, what else do I have to tell you? I'm getting so caught up on this Five of Wands, Seven of Cups. Maybe dream a little bit bigger. I feel like with this Ace of Swords striking forward, we can sometimes want to fall into the category of being too realistic. And the Seven of Cups is the dreamer card, right? It's thinking about all the different possibilities, even if some are not possible, right? I can't just jump to the moon tomorrow, but I can think about how to, make a plan to get there. I can become an astronaut. Not that I can't even get on the 6th floor of a building and look down, never mind be on the moon. But there's opportunities if you allow yourself to move forward in new directions, to dream and to think about the different possibilities and see how things can move forward for you, right? Pick one thing that excites you and then explode in that direction and see where it takes you. That's kind of what I see going on here for Virgo. I feel like also maybe somebody that you've been having a bit of a tiff with here is wanting to chit chat. When they come to chit chat, don't make things harder than it needs to be. I feel like don't nitpick their whatever they've got going on. Maybe they're not the best at communicating, and we don't need to make that worse by picking out maybe where their grammar is incorrect. I don't know. Let's go ahead and see. These are your most important initials, acronyms, names, and words. And if you're having trouble seeing on TikTok, hop over onto YouTube. I'm live there right now, and it has the top-down view, so it sees a little bit better. That's what we've got going on for Virgo. Also, while you're perusing on the internet, if you'd like to have a personal reading, check out my website. It's the absolute only place that I do personal readings is on my website, temperanceandsage.com. Where are we doing? Libra. Alrighty, so, whoa. For the zodiac sign of Libra, let's see what we got going on here. What does the zodiac sign of Libra need to know? right. Libra, immediately, some of you are not going to like this answer, but if you see something from somebody else's perspective, you'll probably resolve the situation. So if you're having some sort of tiff with somebody else, maybe there's a need to kind of get out of your own way, get out of the need to be right, and kind of look at things from their side of the situation, or at least look at things from a bird's eye view, and then you'll find a way to connect and have things be a little bit happier, whether it's in a romantic relationship or platonic relationship, whatever it may be. There's no need to be right here, right now. There's just a need to kind of open our eyes up. So throwing that out the window, who cares? When we have the idea of the Hanged Man coming forward with the 10 of Cups, I would like for you to dream a little bit more. The Justice card can really try to balance out our mind and our heart, bringing us back into reality when we go into fantasy land. And with the Hanged Man, sometimes we can keep ourselves stuck to our own perspective. When I have people ask me questions for doing tarot about what should I do for careers, what's the best career for me, I straight up say, I don't know, because I only know what I know, right? I only know the possibilities of me living in a small town in Canada. That's all I know. I don't know that you could be some sort of whatever, underwater. I'm trying to think of something wild. Underwater seahorse catcher. Like, I don't even know that there's a possible job, right? So when it comes to thinking about how to go after the things that you want, or thinking about going after your goals, sometimes there's a need to ask other people, get out there, see things from another perspective, because you only know what you know, right? And other people are going to help you change that around. So there's now a time for maybe you to ask somebody here, like the Emperor, or somebody who can kind of get you to where you want to be. Because if you keep moving forward like the Five of Pentacles, walking past the church when it's right there, then you're not going to get to where you want to go. So I would say maybe lean on others right now. It's a really good time for you to be in a dreamer state, to, even just brainstorm and think of possibilities beyond what your imagination has allowed you to expand to thus far, and kind of see where it takes you. I don't know why I'm getting this message, so random, but if you just recently divorced, keep your eyeballs peeled. I think that there's a way better direction coming forward for you, and it could be somebody who could open up your eyes to see how romantic relationships can be that maybe you haven't felt in a very long time. I don't know why that's coming forward. I normally don't really tap into that sort of direction, but it is there. Anything else that I'd like to say? Anybody who's been having a little bit of a hard time with a boss, or wants their boss to give them something, kind of being in a place of treating them like family rather than treating them like a boss, can be a little bit better. If you look at them, I like to look at the Emperor as like an old papa, the grandpa who watches everybody open up their Christmas presents but doesn't really say anything. He just kind of sits and enjoys everybody else being around. If you're wanting to have something come from a superior, then it's really important for you to kind of treat them like you would treat that sort of grandpa character. Allow them to have a little bit more of that sort of like friendly underlying respect, rather than kind of being in a place of coldness, or rather than kind of being in a place of like distance. Allow them to kind of have a little bit more of that family aspect, and you'll probably get what you want in a better way. So that's what I would say for Libra. Thank you for the rose. So these are your most important initials, acronyms, names, and words. You had a wild one. This is the first zodiac sign to have a wild one today. If you can't see on TikTok, join us over on YouTube. There's a better light, what is it called? View over there. Okay, so now we're going on to the zodiac sign of Scorpio. And if you'd like a personal reading, check out my website, temperanceandsage.com. Alrighty, let's go ahead here for the zodiac sign of Scorpio. All right. So, Scorpio, picking something and sticking to it is the way. And I know that can sound incredibly boring, but it all starts with this magician card about picking something that you're really excited about or picking something that you feel incredibly fulfilled with. When you pick that and then you put the work into it, you allow yourself to move forward with excitement, things will really line up in your life and it'll start to accumulate in a way that you hadn't even expected. But it comes from consistent effort. And the thing that's popping into my mind with this is at the end of the day, it's not the people who are the best at something that succeed. It's the people who are consistent at something that succeeds. And even today, when it comes to going live, I was like, man, do I want to go live? Do I not want to go live? I don't know. Sometimes doing the zodiac signs can be a little funky. Um, but then I went down memory lane and I looked down at a couple of the people who used to do the zodiac signs back in the day when I was doing the zodiac signs, and none of them even post videos on YouTube anymore. Now, I am all over the place when it comes to posting videos on YouTube. Sometimes I post 5 and sometimes I post 0, but here I am still 5 years later posting. But it's accumulated, right? We just hit 40,000 subscribers this last week. Meanwhile, the people who stopped are still stopped at 1,000, right? They could have kept going. They could have seen where it has gone to. Has it been easy? Absolutely not. Has it been incredibly repetitive? Absolutely. But we are here, right? And so with the magician, pick something that you're excited about and allow yourself to move forward with it because you never know at the end of the day on how it's going to pan out. Had I, when I first started doing tarot, I don't even know how many years ago, I would have never told you that I would have made social media accounts and have done tarot with it. I thought it was just something fun to do with your friends, I didn't really think about it as posting on the internet. But here we are, right? And so you never know how something's going to balance itself out. And it'll lead you to other opportunities as well. 6 of Pentacles, where you pour into one aspect of life, it'll pour into another. The cup has to get full at some point and it has to go somewhere else after that. So once you start to pour into one thing, think about it as like those wedding or what do you call it, celebration towers, right? Where it pours into the one and it overflows and keeps on going down to the bottom. That is what it's going to deliver you. As you find fulfillment in going after something that you truly desire, it'll start to pour itself into other aspects of life. Anything else that I want to say? Keep working hard and save your money, Scorpio. Now is not the time for you to start throwing money left, right, front, and center. As you allow yourself to be in a place of, I don't know why I wanted to say storing it, but as you allow yourself to be in a place of storing it, you will have the opportunity here to move forward in ways that, again, you wouldn't expect because it builds itself up more and more and more and more and more as time goes on. So $1 today is $10 tomorrow, right? Kind of give yourself that sort of idea when it comes to saving. So these are your most important initials. Why can't I turn that over? Initials, acronyms, names, and words. Again, if you can't see, hop over onto YouTube. We're live there and we have the top-down view. So you can head over onto YouTube, Temperance and Sage on YouTube. And if you'd like a personal reading, check out my website, temperanceandsage.com. All right, now we are on to zodiac sign of Sagittarius. Whoops. No worries. Thank you all for joining me here today as well. What am I doing? Sagittarius. Alrighty. Let's see. For the zodiac sign of Sagittarius, what do you need to know? All right. So Sagittarius, sometimes good things can come forward in a direction that you wouldn't expect. When I see the moon card coming forward, it gives me the idea of out of the blue. That's always when I see the moon card come forward, I think of out of the blue. And so allow yourself to be open to the idea that you don't have to know how things are going to happen. You don't have to know how things are going to come forward. You don't have to be in a place of recognizing, how to make something happen. Sometimes with the Knight of Wands as well as the King of Wands, you just have to take your Sagittarius self and take the action forward to just start moving the ball, because you never know when something is going to go ahead and work in your favor, and all of a sudden we're rolling the ball downhill instead of rolling it uphill. So the more you take, as I feel in the moment, flows of action, the more you're going to see success come forward, because you're not like needing to immediately plan something to be or make something happen. You're working with the energy that you've got going on. Now, I do feel like there's somebody who wants to be in your energy. You may not expect something to come forward from this person. Maybe they're younger than you. Maybe they just come off with a little bit more of a childish energy than you. You're just not quite sure about connecting with them, but I think that they can be quite fun to be around. It doesn't even have to be in a romantic sense, because a Page of Cups can just be like a lighthearted energy in love, which can be friendship. It can be a younger sibling, right? It just seems like there's somebody who wants to be around you, who wants to connect with you and wants to bring in good into your energy. And I think it could surprise you on how much you could enjoy being around this particular person. I do think, though, that there is some news coming forward towards you quick that is going to catch you off guard. It is good news. It's going to give you momentum. It's going to push you forward. But I also think, like, because it's going to catch you off guard, you're going to have such a surge of energy. You're not going to know what to do with yourself, and just follow the energy. Follow what you feel drawn to do. I kind of look at it as like a painter that is going in and just throwing the paint at the canvas and seeing what it becomes, rather than needing to sketch out every single detail before you go ahead and paint things forward. King of Wands, I usually do take as quite the ego card. Put your ego aside, or put your need for yeah, I would say, yeah. Put your ego aside and allow yourself to be in the spotlight, is what I feel with this King of Wands. Allow yourself to shine and take action. Do not hide yourself away with this moon card. I feel like the more you try to hide yourself away, the more Spirit's going to bring you attention, which this can work out in multiple ways. Say you're like, I'm just going to throw on a hoodie and run to the store. That's exactly when you're going to see somebody that you know. Or if you are trying to say, oh, I'm just going to put on some sunglasses and a hat and just walk down the street, that's still somebody's going to see you and be like, hey, Sagittarius, how are you going, right? No matter how much you try to hide away, people are going to recognize you. People are going to see your energy. And the more you try to hide yourself away, the more people are going to recognize you here. So allow yourself to shine in the spotlight. Don't be, needing to control the narrative. Don't be needing to kind of control your image. Don't allow your ego to get the better of you. Just allow yourself to shine and see where it goes. Follow the energy. So let's see. This O flew out there too. These are your most important initials, acronyms, names, and words. And you have a wild one here too, so you can go ahead and throw anything in there. And again, if you're watching on TikTok and you would like to see the initials and you can't see them, then join me on YouTube. It's a top-down view from there and you can see everything. So that's what we've got going on for Sagittarius. And personal readings are available on my website, temperanceandsage.com. Let's go on to our next zodiac sign. At this point in time, we've done Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, and that just was Sagittarius, which means we are now going on to Capricorn. All right, so for the zodiac sign of Capricorn, Let's see what's going on here. What do you need to know? Capricorn, firstly, I must say that somebody does want to apologize here. I feel like somebody felt a little bit vulnerable. They weren't quite sure on how to connect with you, firstly, but they do want to apologize. So if you've been looking for some sort of opportunity to connect with somebody, right some sort of wrong, I do see that coming. Now, just in general, I feel like there's a need for you not to hold on to things that you find valuable to the point where you can't let yourself grow. That t-shirt that you really love and enjoy is not going to be the only t-shirt you love and enjoy in life. That opportunity for you to save that $5 is probably not going to bring you the same value as you to spend that $5 to go to whatever a Christmas festival with your friends, right? There's some sort of opportunity of like allowing yourself to grow, allowing yourself to move forward with flow and passion rather than to hold on to small value. Now, the Four of Pentacles can be a bit of an insecure card or a little bit of like a held back energy card. And so we don't want you to be in a place where you're so scared of losing what you have or so scared of growing and then not being able to expand, like trying to put in the effort to grow and not seeing yourself go anywhere. We don't want you to be in that energy. We instead want you to look at the opportunity that can come forward here with the Judgment as well as this Page of Pentacles and allow yourself to grow, because you can move forward to the King of Pentacles. You can move forward to somebody who is stable in abundance and can feel this energy of comfort and growth. And with this Queen of Wands, you're in a very attractive energy to see yourself grow and to see yourself move forward into new lights. So don't hide away. This is an opportunity for you to kind of sit with what you know, sit in the energy that you value, and allow yourself to find more things that make you feel excited, more things that give you value, rather than to hold back in any sort of way. I think that there's also an opportunity here to recognize differences in partnerships and connections with other, whether it be romantic or friendship. Sometimes people are not going to directly speak to you in the way that you expect them to or connect with the way you expect them to. And that's the part that makes us an individual, right? That's the part that makes us who we are. So learning how to connect with others this week by maybe being a little bit more direct and speaking to them in a different way can give forward opportunity of closeness and connection and value. What else do I want to say, Capricorn? I think that there's a need to take a chance on something here, to move forward with something that maybe makes you feel a little bit more excited. And as you move forward with the excitement, you're going to recognize that there was an opportunity there all along, rather than it being something that needed to be held back. Slow doesn't mean never, it just means slow. I also felt the need to draw another card, and here we have the Devil, which is you. So maybe there's an opportunity here to say something that we would normally recognize as a card that is difficult, or as a card that is an issue, or as a card that is kind of talking about, negative. This is instead a card of you. We need to look at something in a different light and recognize, no, it's actually a card of your own energy, a card of yourself, a card that recognizes the ability for you to be sitting in your own energy. So maybe there's something of you to not hide away with the Four of Pentacles, to put yourself in a corner, or not to allow growth, but instead an opportunity for you to be the Queen of Wands, to call things to come forward, to recognize the growth, to recognize the opportunity that's around you. So what I would say, yeah, this live will be saved. I also maybe will timestamp it. I'm not going to promise timestamping it because I don't know. Sometimes I forget. So these are your most important initials, acronyms, names, and words. Again, if you can't see on TikTok, join me on YouTube, Temperance and Sage on YouTube. Also temperanceandsage.com if you'd like to have a personal reading. Where did my stuff go? Here it went. We are on our second last zodiac sign of the day. No, I just finished it. You can rewatch it on YouTube. We're on Aquarius now. I don't have a timestamp yet. Temperance and Sage on YouTube. It's the same as my TikTok account. Yeah, Sagittarius is also finished. Sagittarius is up. Sagittarius is up. What am I doing? I'm trying to write at the same time as I'm talking. Sagittarius is up on the YouTube channel. All right, Aquarius. Let's go ahead here. The word Aquarius never looks right to me. I don't know what it is, but it never looks correct. All right, Aquarius. So immediately the Three of Swords as well as the Judgment card calls my name. Because the Three of Swords, I like to use the idea of making a mountain out of a molehill. Sometimes when we are thinking about something, we create an emotional response to it. Think about when you are having to give a presentation and you're like, oh God, what if I didn't zip my fly up? And now it's weird that I go look and I, see if I didn't zip my fly up, right? We create the anxiety response within inside of us because of what our mind is thinking. And then because we're feeling anxiety, our mind is now going to think of more things that could go wrong, right? It's like a cycle. And so with this Three of Swords energy coming forward here, there may have been something that you've been causing this sort of cycle with in your life. And the Judgment card is actually calling for you to cut it out. Yes. Like just very much forward. It's just asking for you to cut it out. It's asking for you to look at the signs. It's asking for you to be realistic. It's asking for you to kind of put everything down on paper and see what's truly there instead of allowing yourself to get into a bit of a cycle. Now, the Justice, I don't know why I want to say Justice. We'll think about it. The Six of Pentacles, maybe because I saw the lady with the little scales, but the Six of Pentacles comes forward as a card that's talking about balance. It's talking about give and take. It also talks about how one thing can flow into the other. Just as I said, with the mind creating the emotional response and then the emotional response feeding back to the mind, it kind of balances itself out in a way because we're feeding both, so everything is equal. But the Six of Pentacles is asking you to watch what you feed, right? What you feed will grow. So in any sort of way in your life, if you are in a place where you're not quite liking what you're doing or not quite feeling the return that you're looking for, watch to see how you're feeding these things, because the trees that you feed will grow. There was something that I was watching the other day of a podcast that was talking about how if you feel like certain aspects in your life are out of control or feel a bit too mundane or feel like it's not really fulfilling in certain ways, what you actually have to do is tackle more things, apply more things to your life. But the difference is that you start to do these things that actually make you feel fulfilled, Queen of Cups, and bring you value, King of Pentacles. So it's about shifting these things from being out of your control to doing more things that are in your control. And the shift of things in your control actually creates a difference in your perspective and creates a difference in your energy, where it doesn't feel like so many things in your life are weighing you down or are, getting requirements out of you, even though you're doing more tasks. So say you are in a cycle here where you're with this Three of Swords, feeling like things are maybe not fulfilled, or you get anxious or get worried. Apply more things in your life that you actually enjoy doing and see if that switches around your energy. I would also say maybe there's a need to communicate more. Instead of being in a place of thinking about what the other person is saying, thinking about what the other person is doing, or kind of getting up in your head and analyzing this other person, just being very straightforward here with the Judgment card is going to get you into a better direction than being in a bit of a guessing game as to what else is going on. So these are your most important initials, acronyms, names, and words. If you'd like a personal reading, check out my website, temperanceandsage.com. And again, you can check out the YouTube channel, Temperance and Sage on YouTube. I have got the live going there as well. I also have other videos going up on there too, so you can check that out. We just hit 40,000 subscribers, which is super awesome. That was a long time in the making. I think it took us 2 years to go from 30 to 40, which is completely my fault because I was not posting videos. So what did I expect? But it is what it is. Let's go ahead with the zodiac sign of Pisces. Pisces is the last zodiac sign in the day. So if your zodiac sign is not Pisces, it's already been done. You can check out the YouTube channel, Temperance and Sage, to rewatch it. I don't have the timestamps now, but like give me 30 minutes after the live ends and I'll probably have them. I'm just gonna make a cup of tea or something and then do it. All right. So let's go ahead here with the zodiac sign of Pisces. Again, Pisces is the last zodiac sign in the day. So if your zodiac sign is not Pisces, it's already been done. It's already up on YouTube. You can go ahead and check that out. Temperance and Sage on YouTube. Temperanceandsage.com if you'd like a personal reading. So let's go ahead here for the zodiac sign of Pisces and see what you need to know. All right, so the Nine of Wands, Eight of Swords is actually a super interesting combination because to me it says don't allow other people to create a stop in your path. The Eight of Swords is a really interesting card of allowing the outside words, thoughts, or ideas to stop you from going forward. It's the what would other people think? What would my parents think? What would my friends say? What would those people from 5th grade say if they saw me doing this now, right? It's that sort of outside of the mind energy that kind of gets you stuck rather than listening to your own intuition or your own internal desires. And the Nine of Wands creates this fictional wall in front of you that doesn't allow you to move ahead. But it's of your own making. If we look at the card, we see that that person has the wand in their hand. They could just move the wand, become the Page of Wands, as we have a wand in our hand, and move forward on the adventure that we intend to take. But again, we don't. We listen to what other people think or what other people say, and it stops us from moving forward. So with that, I would say be the Queen of Swords. Don't be afraid to, tell it how it is. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Don't be afraid to follow what you think is best, and don't be afraid to be straightforward with people. Sometimes other people like to talk for people and it's just they've become second nature with doing it, that they apply it to everybody and they may not even realize where they're putting their own thoughts or their own restrictions on you. So standing up for yourself is going to be great. Now, am I telling you to abandon your parents and your family and go move across the world with $1 in your pocket? No, I'm not telling you to do that. But what I am saying is be a little bit more strict when it comes to going after the things that you want, where you don't say, oh, well, my parents told me that I, need to become a lawyer or a doctor, that I can't follow becoming, doing my own business or, starting my own cafe because they think that it's not successful, or they think, writing a novel is not something that's going to pick up. You never know. You never know. Maybe there's an opportunity for you to follow your dreams instead. But again, I'm not trying to cause family rifts here. I'm just saying stand up for yourself. When we have the Eight of Pentacles come forward here with the Emperor, as you start to practice these things, it will get stronger, right? This could even come forward in the simplest of ways. I went out with a friend the other day and we went to Starbucks and they had asked for no whipped cream, but then the girl was so busy at the till that she didn't realize it when she made the drinks and she put whipped cream on it. And so as they went to the washroom, I just asked her if she could just take the spoon and, scoop off the whipped cream because they really just didn't want it on their drink. But they didn't want to say that themselves, right? Like they were just gonna accept the drink. And like it takes 2 seconds to just grab a spoon and then take it off. And it's not like you're saying, oh my God, you're such a horrible person for putting whipped cream on their drink, sinner. It's nothing like that. It's a simple misunderstanding. It's a simple mistake. And sometimes when you get into the routine here of this Eight of Pentacles, of being able to stand up for yourself in those ways and not create these walls of the Nine of Wands, you can realize how much more simple it is to, do that, right? To become that Emperor energy, to be standing up on your own, to go after the things that you want, to feel stable in your own energy, and to move forward. Anything else that I want to say? I think that there's a need to maybe clear the air with somebody here as well. If we're both speculating on what the other person is thinking, what the other person wants to say, it can become very hard to actually have a conversation with the other person, because you're going to have the conversations that you had in your mind with yourself, and they're going to have the conversations that they had in their mind with themselves. And when we go to come together to talk about it, the other person's not going to act on how we made their character in our mind to act out. And so it can make some false expectations and make things a little bit difficult when it comes to moving forward. So just putting in the work to maybe communicate a little bit more can really set a different tone for your personal relationships, whether it be romantic or platonic. So these are your most important initials, acronyms, names, and words. And again, if you're on TikTok and you can't see, join me on YouTube. It has a top-down view so that you can see everything. And that's what we've got going on for the zodiac signs here today. If you'd like a personal reading, join me on my website, temperanceandsage.com. It is the absolute only place that I do personal readings. I will never, ever, ever DM you. I don't have the time in the day. I also don't go on social media, actually. So I just will not. If you'd like a personal reading, you can come over onto my website, temperanceandsage.com. It's the absolute only place that I do personal readings. Join me on YouTube. We just hit 40,000 subscribers, which is super nice. Anything else I want to say? Turn on your notifications. Did you know, you probably don't, but did you know that I think of 40,000 people, only like 500 have their notifications on? And every time I go live here now on both of these accounts, it will be to do the zodiac signs. So if you'd like to throw on your notifications, then you can see it live. Else, you can always see it afterwards. That's an option as well. But that's what we've got going on. So I'll catch y'all another day. Catch you later in a personal reading if you decide to go ahead and join me with one. Anything else I want to tell you? That's about it. Keep an eye out on YouTube for some new videos. And yeah, I'll see you another day. See you guys.